you so much for spending time with us. We talked about such a wide-ranging topic. So last three very quick questions. When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what do you do to get back into, to take a break, or what do you do temporarily?
So if I were indoors, I would take a deep breath and come back to the present. If I have more time, then I would go out to nature where I would be completely re-energized.
And can I follow up on that? Do
Sure.
you have like a go-to place to immerse in nature? Do you have like a favorite country or place in Hong Kong?
Not really, but I do think we are all super blessed to be in Hong Kong because there are a lot of trails that are within just like 15 minutes of, say, Causeway Bay where I work. And if you have more time, of course, you could venture to, Sai Kung, Lantau Island. But I think, Hong Kong is actually very green. 40% of Hong Kong is, covered by countryside. So there are a lot of trails that I enjoy. I tend to prefer the longer, flatter ones, but there are times when I also would be more adventurous and go to like MacLehose Trail as well.
Also like the more flat ones. Second question is there any unusual habit or absurd thing that you love that you would like to tell us about?
Well, I wouldn't call it absurd, but I guess it's rather unusual that one has so many doggies. So I'm single, but I consider myself a doggy mother. So at the peak, I actually had as many as 14 poodles.
And now you have fewer, but are you looking to have more? Or are they like reproducing?
So it all started with Bodhi, my first doggy, and then obviously he had children, and then now even his granddaughter is with us. I have to say though, it is not easy to go through, the aging process in doggies because it's kind of like an accelerated version of aging. So at this point, I'm not looking to have more dogs because the older they get, the more attention they require.
And I have to follow up. You mentioned just now that you had a chicken as your first pet.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you got a chicken?
So I went to Marymount Primary School in Happy Valley as a kid. And then I remember every day after school, my mom would take me to the wet market in Happy Valley. And I used to love chickens. So we would have some sort of chicken dish for dinner every day, literally. Either steamed chicken or soya chicken or curry chicken, whatever. So that day we went to that chicken store and then my mom picked a chicken. So it was a full grown-up chicken. So we brought it home and for some reason we decided not to kill it. And her name is Lok Lok, became my pet. And I was completely in love with her. She was truly, my pet. I call her name, she would come to me. She was completely toilet trained. She knew where to go. She had a little wooden hut on the terrace. And when I did my homework or when I was skipping rope, she would be right beside me. So everything was going very well, happily, until I thought, she seemed a bit lonely. I decided to get her a husband. So I got her this cock, very handsome cock named Lily. So Lily Lok Lok. Oh, and gosh, they were inseparable. They were just so deeply in love with each other that, sometimes I would play games with them. I would separate them for a few minutes and then they got like super nervous. So they were literally inseparable. And then tragedy struck when the neighbors started complaining because a cock would naturally, what do you call it?
Rooster.
The rooster. Sorry, the rooster would obviously be noisy in the morning around 5-ish, during sunrise. So I had to send the cock away, and my hen Lok Lok became so depressed that she basically went on like hunger strike. So she started picking her own feather. She used to be like bright orange, And at the end of the month, she turned like all beige and she lost like at least 2/3 of her feather. And then there was this one day I came back from school and she was nowhere to be found. I don't know what happened to her. So I was completely traumatized. I think, had I not let her taste love, she would have been fine. But, once she found love, fell in love, and lost her husband, she just couldn't live life without him.
Oh, it's such an emotional story. I wasn't expecting.
Sorry.
But wow. I hope when she rests in peace, she's in a better place.
But they had a good time together. I'm sure had she been given the choice again, she would still have wanted to taste it. But it just really planted a kind of a seed in me, knowing that, all animals actually do have feelings and emotions.
It's wonderful you have your poodles and see them go for generations and have grandkids, and not a lot of dogs
Right.
have that. They get neuters, but they're not.
And it's not necessarily the healthiest thing, to be honest. But of course, vets have their own opinion.
Last question is, we talked about a lot of things today. If you could boil down to one ask or one action that you want everyone to take away, to implement maybe in their own life or to start thinking about, what would that be?
I think it's to really reflect on what lessons you want to learn in life and what you want to do with your life. What makes you happy, and how can you derive meaning and find purpose in what you do? So I encourage, all people to start with why, with every project that they embark on or every decision that they make. Because ultimately, if you're clear about your why, you can bear with any how. But when you're not clear, you would easily be lost and you would be frustrated and you would be wasting time, basically. But if you knew from the very start what exactly that you want to achieve, it doesn't matter. Even if you fail, as long as you have tried your best, you would be enjoying the process along the way. So it's really all about the journey, because life is a journey. We don't necessarily have full control about the final destination, but as long as we are clear about the direction that we're heading and we are following the true north, our internal compass, then there will be no regrets and you will be a lot happier.
Yeah, going from banking to kind of all over the place with my career, I totally understand where you're coming from. So thank you so much for spending time with us this evening.
Yeah, it's been a true pleasure connecting with you all and learning from you all. Thank you.